in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the Chungus sleeps tonight. Big Chungus is a meme on Reddit. It's about a giant Bugs Bunny eating giant old carrots. Big Chungus is a meme on Reddit. It's about a giant Bugs Bunny eating big old carrots.
You pull up with that fat girl, that's a big woman. Damn, how the fuck she get big like that? Fuck.
Yo, I think that's the best one.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk,
Three looks, and that's it. Yeah.
Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time. Well, look who's inside again. CEO entrepreneur. You're a cunt.
Okay, my bangs look ridiculous, but that's not the point. I just woke up. I want to talk about something. I want you all to really pay attention to the conversation around skinny shaming. I want you to notice when it does and doesn't happen. Because you'll notice very fast, it does not happen unless you are talking about fat shaming and systemic fat phobia. It just does not happen unless they're trying to derail the conversation from fat people to be about insecurities and skinny shaming. There aren't any movements by skinny people to stop skinny shaming. There aren't any conversations in communities of skinny people about skinny shaming. There aren't any threads with resources of how you can help and what you can do to stop the oppression of thin people, because the oppression doesn't exist. And this conversation does not exist outside of silencing fat people. That's the whole point, whether they
That is discrimination. They are doing it if they cared about us and not their... I feel like you guys are saying the same thing, and you are correct. It is discrimination against us because men and women bigger than me can't wear clothes. I myself can't find clothes at a lot of places, and it's really fucking frustrating. And sure, it's also for their profits or whatever, but like, give me new clothes to wear. And also, don't change the plus size clothes so that I'm like a little more modest. Thanks.
I'll do the number 7.
Number 11?
7.
Number 11?
7.
Sorry, I can hear you.
It's okay. Number 7.
Okay, number 11.
Go ahead and step on the scale. Sure, I'm just gonna step on it backwards, and please don't tell me the number. I have an eating disorder, and that's what my therapist recommends. Sure, no problem. I'll just leave this here for the doctor. Great. Thanks. Kind of defeated the purpose of weighing backwards. Good to see you again. Go ahead and step on the scale. Hey, just a reminder, if you could just weigh me backwards and then not write it down on the paper you leave right by me, that would be great. All right, I see the nurse took all your vitals. Oh, yeah, it looks like your weight has changed. Yeah, I weigh backwards. I have an eating disorder and asked her not to write the weight down where I could see. So you don't want to know, even if it's good news? No, I don't want to know. Even if it's good news. No.
Y'all remember when people got upset that I put 3 scrambled eggs instead of 2 into my breakfast hash that I ate? And people went wild about it? Thin privilege, fat phobia, you're welcome.
all know skinny people who eat a ton of food and never seem to gain weight. So why do we have such a hard time believing that there are plenty of fat people in our lives who don't overeat, who don't ever lose weight? Genetics plays a huge part.
It just dawned on me how many people don't understand how rarely fat people actually receive evidence-based medicine from doctors. One time, I went in for an ear infection and the doctor told me to lose weight. You know what thin people get? Antibiotics. One time, I found a lump and I made an emergency appointment to get a cancer screening. It was at an OBGYN, and as soon as the doctor walked in, he didn't look at me, he didn't introduce himself, he looked at my chart and he said, "You'd have an easier time getting pregnant if you lost weight." I told him, "I'm not here for fertility treatment, I'm here for a cancer screening." And he said, "Oh, okay," and started the appointment, never said sorry. And I would need to make a 20-part series for the saga I went through last year when I needed spinal surgery for a lifelong spinal defect that had nothing to do with my weight. And this is the norm. It's typical for this to happen.
It's time for Fat Suits, rated and graded by an actual fat person. Debbie Ryan in Insatiable. Resting TV watching double chin. I see you. I also have that. Let's talk about weight distribution and genetics here for a second. It looks like Debbie's character has like a very nice chest. You know what I mean? Why didn't that translate when she became fat? As a fat person, I know that when you get fatter, those boobies get fatter. Also, like, what is this like taut fat belly about? That shit moves, it jiggles. No. I actually am obsessed with the idea of having fat revenge as a storyline for a movie. I think that's really funny. It's also totally possible for a person to have a glow up without losing any weight. I'm an example of that. But we're not talking about story structure today. We're talking about fat suits. And this one is a solid C. Pretty good portrayal of a fat face, but not a body.
Shaming and skinny shaming are the same.
Actually, no, they're not. Fat people are denied jobs, proper medical care, health insurance, they're paid less, they don't have equal access to clothing, travel, many public spaces. Even the body mass index, the way that it discriminates against women, especially women of color, it was created for and based around white men. Like, fat phobia is literally rooted in anti-blackness. It's rooted in racism and sexism. Skinny shaming is not. How many times have you seen marketing campaigns that are labeled, "Get fat quick, finally add those stubborn 30 pounds. Show me where all the weight gain industries are. Show me all the damaging messages that say that skinny equals unworthy life or skinny equals ugly." When is the last time that you've been penalized financially when an aircraft seat had to be accommodated to your smaller body? When is the last time you've walked into a doctor's office and after they weighed you, stopped listening to what you were actually there for and told you to just gain weight because it will fix everything? Fat people endure all of that and more. Skinny people do not face employment discrimination or medical discrimination. The world was designed for you. Eat a burger is just not comparable to systemic abuse and oppression.
So every big girl knows that when you're online dating, like, sometimes it's really scary if you think they don't know that you're fat, because like a lot of people have a negative reaction to that. But I'm about to go on a date with a pig farmer, so I just figured it was fine.
Started the day with warm lemon water, granola with oat milk and cashew butter for breakfast, a Lar bar for a snack. I try to drink 2 of these a day. A Mediterranean bowl for lunch, almonds for another snack, curry with coconut rice and a sweet potato for dinner, and my sister made brownies for dessert.
Let's talk about the trendiness of flat stomachs. Plus size model edition. It's no secret that we live in a fat-phobic society that values thinness while actively vilifying fatness. But what happens when fat phobia overlaps with fatness? If you're fat, you've probably noticed how being plus size is only considered good or fashionable on a very specific body type. One of the most famous plus size models, Ashley Graham, is an example of this since she has the quote-unquote ideal plus size body, a bigger chest, an hourglass figure, and a flat stomach. Fat phobia throughout society in general, but especially the fashion industry, is the reason so many thin people are even considered curve models to begin with. Like curve models Iskra Lawrence and Brie Warren. Even plus-size models who aren't necessarily thin usually have a flat stomach. While models like Tess Holliday and Hunter McGrady are successful and don't fit into this box, the vast majority of curve models do.
Hi, welcome in. Oh, hello. Hi, just letting you know you are at Brandy Melville. You know, little one size fits small. What are we looking for today?
Just, you know,
clothes. Why would we want to do that?
There is a Torrid down the hall. I do know there's also Walmart just across the street.
Ma'am, I'm just here for a crop top.
You were looking just for like a crop top?
Yeah. Are you good?
Why?
I just want one.
Okay, yes.
So could you show me where the medium ones are?
I
you sweater?
I don't think we have any in your size.
Just a medium would be fine.
You just like medium?
Yeah.
Why?
Because clothes are meant to fit you the way you want.
Walmart has large.
I really don't need that.
Okay.
What are some weirdly specific things that you consider to be red flags in men?
Men who are rude to fat women or traditionally unattractive women. Let me explain. As a fat woman, a lot of time, guys will come up to my friends and I and will flirt with my thinner friends. And that's fine. But the way that they interact with me tells me every single thing I need to know about them. If they acknowledge my presence, say hello, whatever, Joe. But so many times, they won't even look me in the eye. They will talk to my friends and pretend like I'm not there. And that immediately tells me that that person doesn't respect me. So men who don't respect women, they don't find fuckable, they don't respect women. Like straight up, they do not respect women. Because if they don't respect the women they're not attracted to, then they're just trying to be kind to you because they want to get into your pants. If you have a fat friend and she gets bad vibes from a guy, listen to her, she is right.
You said you might be into girls, said you're going through a phase, keeping your heart safe.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the Chungus sleeps tonight. Big Chungus is a meme on Reddit. It's about a giant Bugs Bunny eating giant old carrots. Big Chungus is a meme on Reddit. It's about a giant Bugs Bunny eating big old